Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Not Your Professional Walkthrough channel with me, your host, Max. This time we might be taking a look at Encased, a game which was sitting in my wish list for quite a long time. Now, the best thing or the best way to look at Encased is that this is a isometric role-playing game. Best comparison or most popular probably game which you can think of when it comes to a setting like this would be the first two Fallout games, and so of course that is why I was also intrigued with the concept of playing this game and being able to potentially try it out. Now, we're going to be setting up a character, and based on my previous experiences with role-playing games, I am absolutely fucking terrible at setting up my own characters. Like, if I try to do my own thing, it usually ends up being this hybrid which does not excel in just about anything and is really just adequate but not good enough. And so I have been looking into a potential build for this game which might be able to utilize lots of skills, have access to lots of things, because I'm playing this for the first time ever, so this is going to be interesting to me as well. We will see how the game will evolve and how will it will work out and what will be your feedback. Maybe you are gonna love it, maybe you're gonna hate it, maybe I'm gonna hate it and I'm gonna request a refund. Everything is freaking possible in this universe. So with that said, we're gonna jump into a new game and we're gonna see how it evolves. The fun thing is that same as in the first two Fallout games, which I was able to play a little bit, but I did not love the controls because the game is so old and so on and such. There are ways that you can approach the game. Like, you can be, for example, pacifist, where you don't kill a single person, you just knock them out, and based on that you get a unique ending. You can be extremely stupid person and everyone thinks you're a total idiot, so they don't take you as a threat to themselves, and so you get like a unique playthrough. Then you can be super smart and super arrogant and everyone's gonna try to shoot you because of it, or you can be a middle like I am and be completely average, and we're gonna see how it's gonna work out. So let's jump into the character creation, and the most simple and relaxing mode for those who do not medium difficulty mode for those who want to focus on exploring the game world, hard mode for those who have been playing RPGs for a long time and love challenges. I think I'm gonna go with the journey, man. More details maybe. Damage dealt by enemies minus 50% of the base value. Hit points of your character group 150%. Enemies never dodge attack. Yeah, that's not more details. Damage dealt by enemies minus 30%. Hit points of your character 125. Your character, okay, each miss of your character implicitly increases accuracy of your next attack by 30%. A companion who is on the verge of death will remain in this state until resuscitated. Okay, we're gonna go with that.
1971. We woke up in a different world, where the Cold War ended along with the Vietnam carnage. All because of the Dome. The Dome. A territory full of anomalous artifacts, phenomena, and organisms. We still don't know what it is. An alien city? Some kind of a testing ground or storage? Whatever it is, no living thing trapped under the dome can escape it. Yet even this did not stop the research. The major powers created the Cronus Megacorporation to develop and explore the dome. Its secrets became a lucrative business. The Spires station was built on top of the dome to export the artifacts and import supplies and personnel. The city of Crystal Sands grew at the foot of the dome, eventually becoming a major transportation hub. All this required thousands of employees, and there was no shortage of candidates. Romantics, pragmatists, and adventurers of all trades swarmed recruiting centers around the globe, seeking jobs at Cronus. You were one of those people. In 1976, your application was approved, and you went under the dome towards the future. Whether a good one or a bad one, only time will tell.
So if I understand it correctly, we're gonna be able to enter the dome, but we won't be able to leave the dome. Okay, so we're gonna create our own character. And welcome to character creation screen. Create protagonist to plunge into the adventures under the dome. To begin, choose name for your character, select the wing in which they work, their portrait, and then adjust physical appearance. So I was able to buy this game on Steam because there was like a 70% discount, and so I got things like soundtrack and portraits and all this other nonsense. So we're gonna have probably maybe a few more options, or maybe not. I don't know. Why do I have, however, a female selected? I'm gonna go with a guy. Okay, I'm not sure why Jared Leto is listed here, but I kind of don't want that. I think this is a cool portrait, so let's go with him. We're gonna be 30 years old. Man, that's one angry looking guy. Gender male, body type, head type. Okay, might be. I am gonna be white because, well, let's face it, I'm a white dude. I don't want to be bold. And these hairstyles do suck. Seriously. I mean, not that I care. Probably I'm gonna have to wear some sort of freaking helmet or something. Okay, that one is even worse. I think I'm gonna stick with this one, but I'm not like crazy about the color. Because our goatee and mustache is like super dark, and that just does not compute. Features. Yeah, let's go back to that. Yeah. Feet color? What? Oh my god, I can have a beard of some sort of weird color. That's okay, let's not do that then. I think this is pretty decent. So, when it comes to that build, we're gonna go with the different wing. And the best wings which were apparently recommended is either black wing or the silver wing. Now, the silver wing is supposed to increase our charisma stats, and the black wing is supposed to increase our muscle. We're gonna go with the charisma because, you know, I want to be a lovely silver-tongued person. I'm not really crazy about the uniform, but I'm quite sure we're going to be able to change it. Okay, so next things, so attributes. Each character in the game has a set of attributes, basic physical or mental characteristics. The higher the attributes value, the greater the advantage in certain situations, and the higher the initial level of secondary characteristics and skills associated. So, we will try to do a couple of things, okay, if you will let me do this. So, I want to somehow set up everything to be on 5, and then we will be adjusting accordingly. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to go with like a generic character and then increase 2 specific stats. And those are going to be, if I understand it correctly, the perception and charisma. So like this is going to therefore give us at least basic stats into these fields. Okay. Just trying to check the guide of what I was taking a look at. And okay, so we have attributes. Now, the skills. And in case characters have a variety of skills that reflect their prowess in specific areas, be it handling different types of weapons, applying medicine, or repairing equipment. We recommend choosing 2 applied and 1 combat skills, but you may select 3 skills as your attack skills. This will add additional 30 points to each attack skill, so it's basically like in Fallout where you are selecting your character. And I think we're gonna go with like either light weapons, or this is gonna give us the possibility to work with pistols, shotguns, submachine guns. Heavy weapons are your rocket launchers, grenade launchers, heavy machine guns. High-tech weapons are your what? Laser pistols, plasma, electromagnetic rifles. That sounds also quite interesting too, but usually these weapons are quite hard to come by, or they can be quite expensive. And brains plus perception are helpful hand-to-hand. So that's the pacifist. You can go and just like beat the living snot out of people. Melee weapons, so you can use that. Contraptions are, for example, your grenades or mines or explosives. And psionics, ability of the mind, often thought as supernatural. These include the ability to make near future predictions, to sense the presence of nearby relics, and to interact with forefathers. Okay. So let's go with 1 psionic, and I would probably go with the high tech or light weapons. Plasma, electromagnetic rifles, and so on. Sounds interesting. Ionization, energy pistol, ability damage 60%, precise shot, supersonic strike, spray, and as we keep investing points into these things, then we will get probably access to like different abilities and so on and such. And then we should have 1 into here, or should I go and reinvest into different sets right now? Hold on, I'm trying to like double check it so that I have this kind of okay-ish. Applied skills. Let's take a look. What do we have here, huh? Theoretically, we can actually go into the abilities when it comes to combat. What if I would do this and go with like applied and invest rather points here? Like if I would want to go with tech, the modern human being is surrounded by mechanics and electronics, whether it's toaster or teleportation device. Knowing the secrets of the metallic waste provides undeniable advantage. Or we can go science. Under the dome, you never know when the ability to clone a hamster may come in handy, but there's no doubt that passing knowledge of biology, chemistry, computer science, physics can make life much easier. So I would go probably with medicine and science. And yeah, so we're gonna be 1 nerdy guy. Might be interesting. Seems like there will be vehicles or something. Interesting. And then there are the traits. So when creating a character, you can choose 1 personality trait for them. It has both pros and cons, and it's entire optional. In case you create a character with low intelligence, 1 more additional trait named as a bag of hammers will be added automatically. So as you can see, like I said, the possibility to play through as a total idiot is an option. The role-playing aspect is the largest part of these games. Like, you are gonna be able to experience things the way you would not be able to do it in your real life, because you have some sort of self-preservation, you have some sort of knowledge, you have some sort of intelligence, you were raised in certain ways. You have some sort of cultural background, you have some background from religion or atheism or some other nonsense. So it totally affects the way you interact with people. Now, when it comes to traits, I will go with the gun fanatic, because this thing will actually negatively affect our initiative. What? I'm not even sure how to pronounce it, but okay. So you adore guns of all calibers and types. You own the solid collection of arms. We're gonna go with the gun fanatic, and we should be able to allocate one more thing. If I understand it correctly, and I would go with this thing, the penitent one. So you and your friends survived many troubles, but some were not so lucky. Now you are torn apart by colossal feelings of guilt over the death of your comrades, and it seems that you dome itself has been saturated within. And the funniest thing is that this thing will like increase all of your skills or all your things by 10 points. So it seems like we have only the option to take one trait. It does increase the incoming damage which we would receive, but the getting like additional to all of these might be quite interesting. So I'm not sure which one would I go. This one seems quite useful, but light weapons, this is high-tech weapons are increased by this as well, so I'm gonna probably go with this one for now. We're gonna see if we're gonna be able to pick up another one. Then I would go with the penitent one, and perks are gonna be only able to be obtained once we like level up, and we will be able to reach level 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 15, and so on and such. So that's light years ahead of ourselves, so let's not get ahead. So get ready for adventure. Great, your character is almost complete. Now double check the data and confirm your choices. The dome and says many secrets await. Okay, so let's proceed. Sigrun Aid. I cannot change the goddamn name. Okay, I don't know. Let's go with Max Payne. That would be kind of funny. Maxwell something. Maxwell Thorne. That sounds cool. So summary, we have 5 muscle, we have 5 brains, we have 8 perception, we have the dexterity, we have guts, so constitution, stamina, overall health, fortune, so our luck is 5, charisma is at 8, as well as with the perception, and it's at 8 because we took the silver wing, and so that is that additional perk point or additional attribute point which we were given thanks to actually choosing this. If we would go with silver, we would actually get additional point into our muscle mass. So we have light weapons 53, heavy weapons 53, high-tech weapons 83, god damn it, hand-to-hand 10, melee 10, contraptions 10, psionics 30, medicine 43, influence 36. So it seems like we're gonna be this sort of really nerdy person, and yeah, let's see how it's gonna go. So conversations, interacting with different characters is an important part of the game. You start the dialogue, click on the character, and if they are set to talk to you, a dialogue interface will show up. From conversations you can find out valuable plot information, clues, and even receive tasks. Choose your lines carefully. Careless words can cause resentment or provoke a fight. Okay, hold on. I need to grab some water because I'm gonna be reading quite a lot if there's not gonna be like narration or something, or if the characters won't be voiced. So yeah, that's gonna be really bad otherwise. Give me a second, people. Give me a second. Okay, so I might have not picked up water exactly, but screw it. Let's have some fun.
A guy wearing thick spectacles thrusts out a sweaty hand.
Monty James, Silverwing.
Nice.
He glances down at your badge.
Ah, it's you. I found your file extremely interesting. And your CV, wonderful. Inspiring, really. When I had the opportunity to look over the files of my future colleagues, I couldn't resist. I don't want to sound boastful, but silver level clearance has its advantages.
Monty winks.
Okay, so it seems like it's actually narrated. Ask him what he saw in your
Monty
file.
makes a ring with his thumb and forefinger.
You were number 63,784 on the waiting list, but you were lucky enough to get into the dome after only 16 months. Besides that, zero, nada, absolutely nothing. You're a dark horse for both the Foundation and myself. How exactly did you end up in this wing?
The salary's good. I'm here for the money. Tell him you're no stranger to the corporate spirit and want to be part of the most important company in the world. Admit that you enjoy the sense of power. I'm gonna give him the money.
James nods his understanding.
Yeah, the money is good, though it's slightly concerning that we're paid in company scrip. If the dome economy ever crashes, we'll be left with nothing but toilet paper. I'd sooner be paid in Swiss francs.
An uncomfortable silence rises between you, and Monty abruptly changes the subject. He taps the narrow illuminator panel with one finger.
Look, there's a storm rising. The lightning is strange. Green. Should lightning be green? This is my first sandstorm.
Say that since you're silver, you would like to review the other employees' files.
James spreads his arms regretfully.
You misunderstood. I don't carry the physical copies with me, but I did get a chance to familiarize myself with them.
Okay.
Ask away.
Ask about Wide Wing.
Monty presses his plump hands to his chest, as if in prayer.
Tamako Kimura from Osaka, a physiologist. She's young, but already has a PhD.
Damn, good for her.
James moves so close, his lips are all but brushing your ear.
Just between you, me, and that lamppost, Kimura has an older sister, Ayaki. She's currently in jail, and Tamako herself spent 2 years in prison, but that is strictly classified.
And why are you telling it to me?
The silver smiles and pats the blue on the shoulder. As the man turns to him, Monty raises his fist in some kind of a weird salute.
Gagarin, Sputnik, Cosmos, Mir, Druzhba, Krasen, SSSR.
He says in Russian. The blue's mustache twitches and his face wrinkles with a beaming smile.
Comrade Vatanen is from the Soviet Union. He's a highly qualified construction engineer. Took part in planning the Spire. He's no spy. Supposedly.
Monty explains, turning to you.
Okay, ask about Blackwing.
Elsa Olofsson, police captain, City of Stockholm. Former captain, to be precise. Dismissed from service because of a conflicting article. Yeah, conflicting. Let's call it that.
The silver says in hushed tones. The black gives him an unpleasant look, but says nothing.
Orange Wing?
This is,
Monty adjusts his glasses and peers closely at the orange's badge.
Quentin Bisley. Grand Theft Auto 3 times and 1 B&E. He was about to go down for 12 years, so he filed for the Clean Slate program. And look at that. They accepted him right away.
The silver shakes his head in disapproval and perplexity.
Okay, ask about Monty.
Sorry, classified.
Monty laughs. He's plainly flattered by your question.
Harvard. Then I worked in the economics department at Supercolor. They produced a special television model for commuter buses. Did you know that? That was my research. What else? Well, I like sports. Water aerobics is a sport, isn't it? I don't smoke and never eat after 6 p.m. Just saying, these kinds of things aren't in the file.
So saying, Monty abruptly falls silent.
Man, I wish I could learn this. To not eat after a certain hour. Like sometimes, holy crap. Like, I come home from gym, it's past 10 p.m., and I start stuffing my damn face with stuff. Okay, let's talk to
The
him.
Orange is dressed in a new jumpsuit. The shiny badge on his chest reads Quentin Bisley, laborer. He's side-eyeing the screen skeptically. Despite his tired, grim expression, his gaze is open and friendly. However, the general impression is unmistakable. There's something frightening about Bisley.
Ask about the bracelets. Yeah, I do wonder about those too.
Quentin raises his hands to examine the devices.
They call them humane handcuffs. How about that? Truth is, there ain't nothing humane about them. They zap you real hard the moment you get your hands on a gun. But they sure look nice.
Bisley lowers his hands again and smirks. The Orange's face stretches into a broad smile, baring his dentures to the world.
Like everyone, duh. In a black car, under guard. There's other guys too, the ones who go through the front door.
He nods at the black-winged woman beside him. Her nose wrinkles in displeasure, but she says nothing.
Yeah, let's talk to her.
A tall woman is watching an ad playing on the monitor, arms crossed. The polished to a shine badge on her black overalls reads Elsa Olafson, Security Service. She glances at you and offers her hand in a businesslike manner.
Greetings. Please take all necessary precautions. By that I mean, don't turn your back on him.
Elsa nods at the Orange.
Ask her what's so dangerous about
Olafson
him.
eyes your silvery jumpsuit and snorts.
Really? I thought you'd be the one to tell me about it. After all, your department has access to all the orders and personal files.
Her gaze shifts to the silver standing opposite and then back to you before she turns indignantly to the window.
Say that there's no need to keep the Orange handcuffed. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. We're still in a goddamn elevator of sorts.
A man with a mustache and a blue jumpsuit is standing at the window, studying the construction site below through the occasional break in the clouds. His badge reads Igor Patan, planner. The blue taps on the glass with one finger and gestures you to come and take a look. Seems like he doesn't speak English.
International Dome. Since the discovery of the dome, its exploration become an international project. 7 countries participated in the first expedition, and over time this number has only increased. According to the most recent data, citizens of more than 40 different countries reside under the dome. Okay,
Using
talk to
sign
him.
language, mimicry, and all of your artistic talent, you're able to communicate with the planner. Once he's sure you're watching, Patanin points up in the direction of Spire Station, from which you departed a few minutes ago.
So the Spire is the transit station built around the aperture of the top of the dome. Relics are moved up to it, and capsules with new employees, food, and equipment descend from it. But why can't a person go back into the goddamn elevator and leave the goddamn
He sketches
dome?
the outline of the station on a broad, foggy section of glass.
Okay.
Once he's finished, the blue turns to you with a delighted expression.
Ask about the station's
The
dimensions.
blue begins to mark up his diagram with a series of footnotes and numbers. Turns out the station's ring diameter is a bit more than 1,500 meters. Its height above the dome is 317 meters, and the total height of the spire, including the loading docks, is nearly 720 meters.
Station functions.
With a series of confident strokes, the planner delineates the capsule's movement scheme, drivetrain, and massive hydraulic brakes on the glass.
Okay. Question him about the purpose of the
This
station.
time, Igor is quite laconic. He pauses, then confidently writes cargo and personnel in block letters, and draws an arrow pointing downward. Beside it, he writes relics, and draws an arrow pointing up. His R is turned back to front.
So it's probably just due to him using Azbuka.
The engineer stops you with a gesture, and after rummaging through his pockets, offers you a small candy. There is a picture of a crayfish on the white wrapper. Is this candy crayfish flavored?
Okay, let's
It's
take it.
surprisingly spongy and tooth-achingly sweet. You can only wonder what it has to do with crayfish.
Okay, status effect. Various actions such as eating food or taking medicines may impose certain status effect on you. They can last for different times and be positive or negative. Some attacks and abilities can also apply status effect and changes the characteristics of the target. For example, breeding or poisoning, or did I just say breeding? Oh my god, I'm not gonna hump people during combat. So bleeding and poisoning. God damn, what am I gonna be, Quagmire or something? Giggity. God damn it. So active stealth. Okay. Let's talk to
The thin, pale young woman is
last
sitting at the
person.
window, leaning against the illuminator. The glass is slightly fogged with her breath. She turns to you. Her shiny badge reads Tomoko Kimura, physiologist.
We've crossed the border. No way back now. Even traveling by the funicular wasn't so thrilling.
The white presses small hands to her blushing cheeks.
So Funicular, the city of crystal sand standing at the foot of the dome, and the spire station are connected by line of the passenger and freight funiculars. Specifically equipped cabins ply along the line, laid directly on the surface of the dome, transporting Cronus Foundation employees and cargo.
You were thinking, why have no children been born under the dome? I've got a working hypothesis, but I'm not ready to share it yet.
She says softly, as if answering a question you didn't ask.
So thanks to our perception at 5, ask Kimura if she sees the dark stain on the outer surface of the dome.
Kimura peers through the glass in the direction you indicate.
Oh, that's the aircraft that crashed into the dome during the first expedition. I believe that's a wing fragment, and there's some white canvas. What do you think that is? Maybe a parachute?
The white shakes her head, bewildered.
I just can't believe it. It's all true. We're on our way to meet the future.
Okay, ask what she meant by we've crossed the border.
Kimura shoots you a surprised look.
You're familiar with the details of the briefing, right? To put it simply, the dome is a selectively permeable environment.
So the dome, the most famous and most ambitious creation of the forefathers, indestructible and semi-impervious to living matter. The dome covers about 30,000 square kilometers of desert.
The white draws an invisible hemisphere in the air.
Inorganic objects may exit the dome without difficulty, but any living creature dies if transported back to the outside world. That's why we're all stuck here for an indefinite period of time.
So dome border is characterized by its selective permeability. Cargo and personnel are moved inside through the aperture at the apex of the dome. Damaged equipment, dangerous waste, and relics exit this way as well. As for living beings, any attempts to leave the dome ends in death. The trip here is only one-way ticket, but that doesn't stop the daredevils. Science 30 propose a hypothesis. The lack of fertility in women under the dome is related to field activity.
Kimura listens without interrupting, as if considering your every word.
It's quite possible. I would like to set up an experiment to test this in practice.
She cuts off, abruptly. You exchange glances with the rapidly blushing Kimura.
Not in that sense. I mean, yes, in that sense, but it is science, you know? It's quite serious.
Offer to help test her hypothesis before it's too late.
She blushes even more.
No thanks.
Giggity. Oh man. Okay, building monitors.
Foundation presents gleaming, futuristic, state-of-the-art cities straight from the pages of science fiction.
Why do I feel like that's not gonna be it at all?
Opportunities and a world-class social safety net. Noble and intellectually stimulating work in state-of-the-art laboratories. We're thrilled to welcome you to the Dome. Please hold on to the handrail and prepare for landing.
Okay.
Stopping by the door's porthole, you watch as the ground slowly approaches. It looks brown-black through the tinted glass and smoky blue at the horizon. It almost seems like the clouds are pulling apart there. You can discern the regular pattern of a settlement in the mists, hanging over the northern section. If this is the city, it's nowhere near as miraculous as the brochure. Just a few concrete buildings surrounded by sheds. It resembles the hab pods of a space colony in a sci-fi film. Yet, the scale is impressive. In only 5 years, a small civilization has arisen from these bleak sands to tackle mankind's greatest project.
So the city, as Chrono's advertising brochures stand, a real oasis in the middle of the desert, the largest human settlement under the dome, a cozy center of civilization away from home. As a result, the project turned out to be unrealistic. Its deadlines were protracted and the budget was bloated and partially plundered.
The blues and oranges did their share of the physical labor, but the main credit belongs to the brilliant administrators from Silverwing. At least, that's what you were told during the pre-departure briefing. Just as you're about to move away from the window, you notice a whirlwind beginning to form above the ochre plain. The gathering storm drifts unhurriedly above the desert, a crown of green lightning flashing at its core. Clearly no ordinary weather phenomenon. It must be one of those anomalies. You freeze by the window, unable to avert your gaze.
So, whirlwind or sandstorms, the desert under the dome is not very hospitable, and sandstorms were quite common. Many scientists from the White Wing associated them with abnormal activities, but there is no direct evidence for this. And general term for a variety of psychochemical phenomena of uncertain nature, endemic to the dome, recommended approach, steer clear or die. Stand up on your tiptoes and try to make out the buildings down below. Stay that until landing. Stay where you are, trying to see if you can spot the mysterious forefather structures until landing. Stay at the window and watch the whirlwind till the landing. Join the other group members. Let's go with the second option.
The outlines of the landing site, blurred by clouds of dust, appear behind the greenish glass of the porthole. The capsule shudders as the braking devices engage.
Seems like we have reached our destination. Okay. Camera control. In case you can rotate camera using EQ keys, as well as zoom in and out by pressing and. The camera is not tied to a character. You can move it using keys WASD to return. You can click tab. Ah, wow. God damn it. Okay, this is gonna be quite cool. Is that like some sort of Corvette or something? God damn, okay. Pretty cool models. Holy shit, look at this tanky dude. That's some cool power armor. Or whatever it's called in this universe. So it seems like one capsule goes up, one goes down, or they keep interacting and switching things around. Okay. I can somehow hear their conversation. Ludvico.
Come here. Come on now, or you'll miss everything.
A cheerful man in a white lab coat grabs you by the sleeve.
Don't touch me, man.
A badge reading Ludovico Nuzzi, scientific analyst, export department, dangles loosely on his clean uniform, which still smells pungently of washing powder.
Look over there.
He points upward with a sharp, wide gesture and hands you his field binoculars.
Okay, take the binoculars and look where he's pointing.
The binoculars to your eyes.
God damn, okay, interesting. That's the anomaly.
Under fourfold magnification, the whirling cloud above the rust-colored plains looks even stranger. Its core glows with flickering green light and flashes rhythmically, and that rhythm seems to form a complicated pattern. Nuzzi bends close to your ear.
Fascinating. Do you want me to bring some filters? If we intercept the red and blue spectrums, we'll see something amazing. It's like a signal, some kind of message.
So if we would have reconnaissance 30, we would have some different option. Ask him what it is precisely you're looking at. Ask him what scientific analysis expert department
The
means.
scientist looks blankly at you, then down at his lab coat.
Ah, this? This?
He lets out a blaring laugh. Ludovico points at the building behind him.
I work in Concord Station, categorizing relics. My job is to classify them by rarity. Then the blues package them, silvers issue the documentation, and oranges move them to the cargo capsule. Just like the one you arrived in.
Nazi points upward.
Then the capsule takes the relics way up there, all the way to the spire, then to Crystal Sands by the funicular. They get auctioned off and turned into money. It's not like I endorse this, but we all like ourselves a good paycheck, right?
He offers you his binoculars once again.
Do you want to have a look at the spire? It's amazing. But then, you can look at the spire anytime. Now that sandstorm, that's what's truly amazing.
Okay, we need
Nazi
to go.
looks from you to the capsule and to the landing terminal entrance. He flings his arms up.
Oh, mi scusi. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. You'd better get going or you'll be late for check-in. Your colleagues are already inside, and the storm is growing stronger. Yeah, the storm is growing stronger.
The white mutters in fascination, eyes glued to his binoculars, which is fixed on the spinning whirl of clouds.
So we're gonna head inside.
Look what the wind blew in. See ya!
Should have rotated the camera in order to actually see the damn doors. But that's okay. We are now finally inside. So throughout the game you will perform various tasks, some of which lead you through the story, as well others that reveal different aspects of life under the dome. You can always find out the task status and lead the details by the L key. Okay, interesting. Monty James, that's also a cool name. So it seems like some sort of showers or toilets. I'm trying to see what's where. Okay, so there's gateway. There's like a fog of war, which is not letting me see what's inside of these things. Seems like there's a floor underneath for like the orange class or the worker class. Trying to...
Monty James.
Hello,
With luck
come
like
up to the
yours,
desk,
I wouldn't
please.
spend
I'll
any
register
money
you.
on the lottery.
Okay.
A tall receptionist watches you from behind his desk with a bored, haughty look. He waves impatiently at you to approach. Noticing your silvery uniform, he offers up his best artificial smile.
Welcome. My name's Dean Rayhead. It's my job to help our new employees settle in. Please wait a moment or two while I register you.
The administrator slaps himself on the forehead.
Ah, I almost forgot the regulation pre-registration greeting. Just a second.
Rayhead produces a reel-to-reel tape recorder from beneath the desk, rewinds the tape to the beginning, and presses play. The speakers explode with a harsh, crackling sound, over which the tick-tick of a metronome slowly grows louder. Solemn music begins to play, and the administrator's face takes on a serious expression.
Dear employee, on behalf of the Cronus Foundation, I, Administrator Dean Rayhead, welcome you to your new life under the dome.
The administrator clears his throat and continues.
By joining our company, you choose the path of science and progress. You are among mankind's best, and we ask that you live up to this.
Dean squints down at the monitor.
Deserve this title. Do your job honestly. Obey the law. Respect your colleagues and...
The music fades, and the administrator finishes his speech.
And together we will build the best possible future for all mankind.
Dean puts the tape recorder away.
Now that we're done with the official greeting, I'll register you and upgrade your Selectron. Okay?
Electronic key and ID computer program and embedded in the Selectron grants access to certain areas depending on your wing and rank. Say you're ready.
Dean's hands hover over the keyboard. He gives you a nod.
dictate your information to him, pass him a note upon which you've written out your information in advance, enter your data into the terminal on your own. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that. Let's dictate the
Spell
info.
out your first and last names and specify your wing, profession, and test results. The administrator's fingers fly across the keyboard as he enters your information into the Cronus database. Rayhet scans the computer screen.
So your position in the waiting list was 63,784. You've been assigned to Magellan Station. A special bus will bring you there after a series of briefings. Please pass me your Selectron so I can update the firmware.
Dean snaps the docking port of your pass to a recess in the casing of his computer.
So this Electron is something like Vault Boy or the what's the goddamn gizmo they call it in Fallout that you wear on your hand? Goddamn it, I just forgot the name. It's not important, but you probably know what I mean.
Your Selectron.
So, colleague,
Paperboy, not Vault Boy. Paperboy.
On the administrative level,
Dumbass.
and basically everywhere else except the secure facilities. You also have admin privileges at most terminals.
Nice.
Dean continues.
All new employees have a short list of tasks to perform on arrival. Do you want to hear all the details or just the short version?
Ask for the details.
Rayhet nods and points at the ceiling.
First, you need a set of combat gear. Talk to Sidney Maynard, he'll give you everything.
Nice.
Dean extends his second finger.
Second, weapons. Ms. Margarita Takachenko is the clerk at the armory. After she dispenses your firearm, you'll need to head to the training zone for a brief weapons handling exam.
So that's like a tutorial for weapon use?
The administrator straightens his third finger.
According to the latest regulations, all employees must attend a briefing on psi abilities. Apply to instructor Andriy Mihai.
So psi energy and psi abilities became serious matter of discussion soon after the first experiments with the Forefathers technologies. According to official data, today more than 78.4 people of Under the Dome exhibit psi abilities of various intensities that allow to use tele or pyrokinesis and to influence the interlocutor in one way or another. Fortunately, most of these abilities are weak. Scientists have found that for the presence of abilities, as well as for ability to apply them or feel their use by others, a special characteristic of a body named psych is responsible.
Dean extends his fourth finger and looks at you meaningfully.
Did I tell you about the combat and tactical training? The fourth step is to visit instructor Winston Botherby.
Okay.
And finally, science is the overarching purpose behind everything we do here. Go to Professor Van Alden to learn how to study relics, avoid anomalies, and catalog scientific knowledge. This training is mandatory for all wings, not just white.
Dean finishes. Dean catches himself.
Oh, and when you're done with your trainings, proceed to the waiting room. From there, you'll travel to Magellan by bus.
Okay.
The administrator looks up at you again.
That is all.
He reaches for the tape recorder, but thinks better of it.
Protocol calls for a little welcoming preamble, but dash it all, that's nonsense. Welcome to Concord Station.
As he's about to turn away, Dean suddenly remembers something.
Oh yes, I sent your mail to your Kairos. Check your new messages. Well, that's all, I think.
My god, can you imagine there would be like a line of 20 people and they would have to go through all this stuff with each of them individually? It would take you forever. So messages sent to you by various game characters are stored in the messages section of your Kairos. Messages from some employees' computers also end up there. All your messages are in the inbox. Oh my god, do I have to also check my emails here? My god, I almost hate doing it just at work, but now I have to keep doing it here. Oh my god, what the hell did I get myself into? So this is just the crappers. It doesn't seem like I'll be able to do anything here. These doors, I'm not sure I'll be able to do anything with them. We can search the office cabinet. Hacking, what? hacking software package. Select of. Okay, what if I borrow this stuff? Nothing. So there's money. There's third letter from Cronus. We can sit down. We can use terminal. Okay. We're trying to find out how the hell to get to those training locations, since I cannot open up these things. Yeah, okay. So I was able to open it up thanks to my silver wing. Anna Leroy.
What do you want?
Okay, you see slim, cheek-bony silver woman with red warning lamp on her head. On the lapel of her perfectly ironed suit, it's a badge that says Anna Leroy Administrator. The girl waves her lamp in the air, trying to attract some attention. Valued employees, according to the Administrative Order of September 14, 1976. The waiting area may be accessed through regular staff quarter. Please be advised this rule does not apply to newly arrived employees. She pauses and begins to cough. Shit, I thought cut down the smokes. Good day, new employee. The silver nods her head, blah blah blah. Asks if you can go through the hall to the waiting room. Anna gives you a gentle poke to the chest with her warning lamp, forcing you to take a step back. I'm speaking gibberish or what? This rule does not apply to newbies. You need to go through training and blah blah blah. She begins to call. Persuade her that you don't need training because you know everything already. Okay. So we definitely need the training because I have no freaking idea what the hell am I doing here. So let's go talk to Sydney.
Behind the storage counter, you see a small, neat guy. His gingery hair shines with something like brilliantine. His badge says, Sidney Maynard, storekeeper. The silver perks up at your approach. A thick logbook appears at once from under the counter. Sidney puts on thick glasses that seem to age him 5 decades in an instant and studies the lined pages. The silver finally stops and pins down a particular page with his finger.
This is your first uniform requisition, right? You can also purchase any equipment you need for the desert directly from me.
Maynard adjusts his glasses in a businesslike manner.
Before I give you the uniform, please listen to these short instructions.
Sidney fiddles with his hairstyle.
So, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Life under the dome can be dangerous. You may get shot, spill acid on yourself, get electrocuted, or suffer the effects of a dangerous anomaly. You may also freeze to death or get fried.
Okay. So, get shot. The type of damage includes gunshot wounds as well as injuries inflicted by melee weapons or the ones received during hand-to-hand combat. Mechanical resistance status responsible for the ability to withstand injuries. Acid is biochemical damage. This type of damage includes exposure to harmful chemicals and pathogens, insect bites, poisoning of all types, damage from cigarettes and medical substances. The ability of the body to withstand damage of this type is reflected by the biochemical resistance stat. Energy damage, this type of damage includes electric shock, exposure to charged matter, and injury sustained from energy weapons. The ability of the body to withstand damage of this type. Okay. And there's the anomaly, freeze, and get fried.
That's why it's important to wear protective equipment when traveling outdoors. Of course, in hazardous situations, the equipment will get damaged, and the more it's damaged, the more often one has to repair it.
The silver steps back from his counter to indicate the repair kit boxes piled in the back of the warehouse. He points back at the shelves behind him.
We've got repair kits for this gear. There are Blue Wing specialists ready to help you at any large base, of course, but they're not always available. So, you'd better learn how to use repair kits and workbenches on your own. It's a useful skill.
Sidney rests the logbook on the desk.
That's all the instructions. Now, I'm going to issue your uniform.
The silver disappears into the back for a while and returns with a small package. Unfolding the package, Maynard shows you a brand spanking new uniform. A silver suit jacket with coal black shirt and dark trousers. Sidney studies the way the light reflects from the cloth as he lovingly smooths the jacket with one hand.
The Silver Wing uniform is fit for field conditions, just in case. But something this fine, you should treat with care, you know.
He raises a finger.
One more important thing. In accordance with Order 16-225, helmets and gloves are not issued, but they're available for purchase from me. Please bear in mind that a full set includes headgear or a mask, jacket, trousers, gloves, and boots.
The Barter Dome is isolated from the outside world, and therefore provisions, household items, equipment, and weapons are of particular value. Perhaps that is why the culture of barter is so developed here. You can not only buy the necessary stuff for money, but also exchange them for something you don't need. Just remember that not all residents of the Dome are willing to trade with you, and the price at which you can buy something is always higher than the price at which you can sell it.
Sydney hands you the package.
Here's your uniform. Enjoy.
Let's see what he has
Sydney
to offer.
adjusts his glasses.
Sure, I'll show you what we've got. You know, we're pretty well stocked here in Concord. Take a look.
So trade is an important element of Encased. While playing, you will meet characters who can trade with either by choosing the related dialogue option or by clicking the barter button in the dialogue interface.
Sydney scribbles something in his logbook.
Please come back anytime if you need something.
So we have shoes, boots, office suit, okay. And he has like a respirator, helmet, gloves, and some provisions, and a worker's belt. Also, he has money and a shovel, interesting. Weapons, nothing. Armor is... I'm not really sure how much armor you would get out of these things. Backpack might be useful. No ammo, really small stuff. Really not that well supplied though. Okay, so let's leave. Do we access our inventory? Gonna probably equip all of these things just to be on the safe side. We have only like one pair of shoes that we can equip, so screw that noise. We will be able to mess around with our inventory, which is great. I'm not sure what the hell scanner. Okay, interesting. Silver Wing Electron. I cannot equip that, and the pistol goes over here into our holster. So that's closed.
Anything urgent, Mr. Krachkov?
Katarzyna, did you mark it as Class 1 again, instead of 2? Look, here's the scanner data. It says the relic is a scientific device.
Okay.
But it's still Class 1. I'm not going to violate.
So we need to talk to this person in regards to
The
guns.
smell of good tobacco wafts off this tall, portly woman from a meter away. A black lacquered pipe, an open logbook full of signatures, and a metal flip calendar sit on the counter in front of her. A small nameplate reads, Margarita Tkachenko. The woman fixes her coppery hair with one hand and casually lights her pipe.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Her voice is deep and gravelly.
Ask her for your personal weapon.
Margarita thumbs back a couple of pages in her logbook.
I see. This was your first receipt.
She glances at her Kairos, looks at you, snorts, and retreats to the shelves. Tkachenko returns a couple of minutes later, carrying something that looks more like a toy than a weapon. The weapon seems weightless as she spins it around her finger.
I ain't telling you shit about this thing, cause that's exactly how much I know. Laser, schmazer, cadmium battery, fiberglass body, blah 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 blah. You probably know more about it than I do. Here.
Okay, accept the firearm carefully with the barrel aimed downward like you were trained. Take the weapon in one hand, point it at Tkachenko and declare, "This is my turf now." Grab the weapon and sling it over your shoulder. Say you're not good with energy weapons. Yeah, let's do the first
Margarita
thing.
drags on her pipe and releases a puff of thick, yellow smoke.
I see you know the rules and won't cause problems.
Ask about weapons drawbacks.
Tkachenko bites down on the stem of her pipe.
Are you kidding me? I'm a different breed. One that doesn't understand toy guns. What if it turns out to be radioactive? Sorry, but I can't help you out on this one.
Servicing the
The
weapon?
Black regards the Andromeda suspiciously.
Fuck it. If it breaks, bring it back and I'll trade it in for another one. There was a little cloth in the box it came in for cleaning the lens. That's all I know.
The armorer shrugs, puffing indifferently on her pipe.
It's the least I could do. We have a requisition list from the Silvers. For free, you receive only rubbish. If you want the real deal, check out the weaponry shop. Or me.
So item quality, weapons, equipment, and other items may have different quality. High quality items are more expensive, less common, but have better characteristics and a lot of useful properties.
Leaning over the counter, the Black points somewhere off to one side.
Now it's time for your training. Fatherby is already waiting for you by the big gate. He's a bit dotty, but a good man nonetheless.
So I'm given basic pistol and an energy pistol. Awesome.
But before the training zone, go see that wizard guy with his toothpicks. Be careful around him, though. Don't let him pitch you a line. Psychic my ass.
She winces in disgust.
Okay, so functional keys. Encased has several modifiable keys that will make your gameplay much more comfortable. Hold down Shift to view a more detailed tooltip for an item. Hold Control to attack characters and doors. Hold Alt to highlight interactive objects and objects laying around. Okay, so this does this. If I go with the control, nothing is allowing me to do stuff. And if I keep holding Shift, nothing is happening as well. So, can I go in here and talk to this person?
Well, you've got quite an aura.
A lean Silver with thick black hair and a huge cigar clamped in his teeth is sitting in front of you.
Oh my god, you're smoking in the office? What an ass.
As you approach, he flashes a sly grin and slowly raises an outstretched hand above the table. Something really weird happens. All the paper clips, pencils, scattered toothpicks, and bits of trash float up from the table and hang in the air.
Okay.
The silver badge reading Andre Mihai, Science Instructor, floats up as well.
Okay, Psionics 30, show him that you have skills as well.
You thrust your hand forward, and your outspread fingers emit barely visible sparks of energy. Pencils, paper clips, toothpicks, and pistachio shells dance chaotically in the air. The Silver sticks out his lower lip as if to say, not bad, and gives you a thumbs up. The objects clatter back onto the table.
Here for the briefing, huh? Shall we get to it?
He takes the cigar out of his mouth and exhales a lush cloud of smoke.
Let's get to it.
The Silver props his elbows on the table.
Anyway, here's the deal. It's more profitable for people with a high psyche to study psionics. Give me your hand.
Not waiting for an answer, he grabs your hand with strong, dark fingers.
Okay.
Andre gropes your hand with an expression of fierce concentration.
So, do you practice? Bells, bulbs, brushing mugs off the table, huh?
The Silver takes a thin glove covered in talc from his desk and passes it to you.
Look, a glove, right? But it isn't just a glove. This is an ooh mama, hold me tight glove. It takes energy from your noggin, your psyche, and pew, concentrates it.
Interesting.
He counts off on his fingers.
Learn psionics. Put on the glove. Transform energy into the necessary shape. That's the whole briefing. Simple? Simple. Now to your questions, huh?
Ask him to tell you about psionic and its
The Silver
origins.
takes a pull at his cigar and releases a self-important puff of smoke.
Psionics. It's a gift for all of us. The forefathers took off someplace. Poof, gone. Only the dome remains. And this. Psionics, huh?
He rocks back in his armchair, puffing on his cigar. The toothpicks again slowly rise up from the table. Mihai spreads his dark hands. Toothpicks hover around his head in a kind of halo.
Scientists say everyone has an organic skill called psyche. You have it, I have it, everyone has it, huh? Big psyche, you got talents. Small psyche, no talents. You'll need to carry a lighter all your life.
In reply, Andre jumps up from his armchair and thrusts his face close to yours, exhaling foul cigar smoke.
Quickly, think of a number, huh?
The unexpected question calls a bunch of different numbers to mind, but you can't seem to decide on one. The silver looks into your eyes.
3, 14, 13, 76.
He easily names every number you've got in mind.
Okay. So, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to, like, equip the glove. Side glove. Interesting. Hold on. This is the Andromeda high-tech weapon. So we can go with one Psyche and one this. Not really sure how psionic we are. Character. Inventory, data, reputation, map. Man, this is massive. Dome. And this is gonna be the overall dome. Okay, call is interrupted. I got unfortunately interrupted, but we are gonna continue. There's the lobby. This is locked door for the armory, I'm guessing. I don't know if I'll be able to access it because she has like a clear line of sight. Yeah. I don't think I'll be able to access the safe.
Be kind, please. Don't touch this. It's mine.
Yeah.
I'll complain to the Silvers about that idiot. They'll take the appropriate measures.
Okay, moving between locations. Game world is vast and divided into many separate locations, some of which might be temporarily inaccessible. Transition between locations usually look like doors sealing off, darkened area, blah 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 blah.
As you reach to open the sliding door, an engineer in a bright blue jacket stops you.
Hold on there, Chief. It's out of order. See? You're a newcomer, right? It's a straight-up open house here today.
He offers you his hand. According to his badge, this is Maxim Penkovsky, technician. The technician slaps the door with one hand.
You have to wait until I'm done. Some orange jammed up the lock with chewing gum just for a laugh. They're like animals, those oranges, marking their territory. If you ask me, they're too gracious about those bastards in Crystal Sands.
Ask him another route.
Penkovsky chuckles.
Looks like you don't get it. Tons of relics pass through Concord. The base is laid out to make everyone walk a single route, with the top level as separate as possible from the bottom. You get the memo?
He turns back to the lock.
So in the meantime, take a load off. Have a coffee. Loosen up. Watch the storm through the window. You'll be seeing a lot of those out here.
Maxime extracts a thin, sharp, precision probe from behind his ear and dangles it in front of you.
Though there's another way. You want to learn something about picking locks? It's a useful skill in all sorts of situations.
He looks at you expectantly.
I like to learn it. I don't care if it's illegal.
The blue's getting excited.
All right, looky here.
Penkovsky presses his pick lock, and an odd device resembling a hybrid of a screwdriver and a can opener into your hand.
Using a mechanical pick lock is easy peasy. No special skill required. They wear out after a few locks. While the old-fashioned kind is another thing entirely. Cheap, one use. But one has to know how to use it right. That's a tool for a master.
Maxime takes out another pick lock and crouches by the door. He gives you a quick lesson on how to pick a lock.
By the way, you can carry your tools in your belt. It's much handier to have them right there.
Penkovsky shows you his utility belt, where he keeps all kinds of tools and gadgets.
Actually, finding tools under the dome is no problem at all. There are even devices for hacking terminals and so on.
Maxime hoists up his belt. The blue solemnly raises his index finger.
And one more thing. Always use brand name stuff if you can. Groovy produces good kits. Modus and Supercolor do too. They've all got fat contracts with Cronus, so they care about quality.
He looks at the door again.
Damn these locks. Though I'd rather be doing this than fixing hab pods. Those are a real pain in the ass.
Penkovsky gives you a patronizing look.
Because they're poorly made, warped from the heat, and the filters aren't worth a damn. The modules were constructed by marketing managers, not engineers. Building a city in the desert was also their idea. This project is all about PR. Cronus wants to show the world how tough they are.
Okay, locks and lockpicking. Throughout the game, you will have access to locked doors or containers. Fortunately, they can be unlocked. Use right button on the locked door and select the desired ability from the list. Okay.
Get a lockpick and attach it to your utility belt. And then...
Okay,
apply it
lockpick.
to the door.
I don't have a utility belt. So that's gonna suck.
Yes, apply is the proper word.
Lockpicking. Lockpicking 15. I'm not sure if this is gonna work out, but okay, fuck it. Go bananas.
You're doing great. All right, off you go. I'll keep working on this lock because of that orange. Hey-oh.
Okay, awesome.
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
No, thank you.
You see a tall scientist in a white lab coat, bathed in the dim lamplight. He almost appears to be hovering above the laboratory floor. The man turns at your footsteps. He's holding a paper clipboard and a pencil. His shimmering silver badge reads Sebastian Van Olden. He glances from you to the glittering watch on his wrist.
I want us to respect one another's time. Please speak loudly, clearly, and to the point. You must be the newcomer I was told about. Nice to meet you.
Finished with his unusual greeting, he offers you his thin hand.
Read him and say you're here for your briefing. Skip the greeting and ask him. Let's go with the first one.
The scientist puts the clipboard aside, raises his watch for a closer look, and sets the timer. He shows you his watch dial.
According to the rules of this briefing, I have to touch on a large number of topics. Therefore, I will do so very briefly. Do not interrupt me. When I'm finished, I'll answer your questions. Within regulations, of course.
Sebastian produces his handheld and clicks some buttons.
I checked your scanner. It's working and is connected to the Minerva database. Everything you scan will earn you Kronos or Forefathers knowledge points.
Okay.
The instructor watches you with displeasure.
Are you listening? Scan everything that might be of scientific interest. First of all, anomalies. They could be dangerous. Make sure to always have medication with you.
He places a canvas pouch in your hand.
This pouch is full of bolts. You can temporarily discharge an anomaly by throwing a bolt into it. It's primitive, but reliable.
Van Olden pushes a button on his stopwatch.
So, my oral briefing fell within the allotted span of time. Any questions you want to ask me?
Ask what the Minerva database
Sebastian snorts skeptically.
Oh, great. You're even ignorant of the basics. Minerva is a mainframe located at Magellan Base, where you'll be going soon, by the way.
Okay.
The Minerva disk stores the database containing every piece of information about the Dome and the company's employees. It is thanks to this scanning that the database is constantly updated. Are you ready for the second part of the briefing, or do you have any more questions?
The instructor looks at his chronometer again.
I don't care about your watch, man. Tell me about knowledge points.
Scowls in annoyance.
Do you know anything at all? What did you come under the Dome for anyway? You get knowledge points for scanning objects. For scanning anomalies and relics, you receive Forefather points. Scanning the company's property and employees, living or dead, earns you Kronos knowledge points.
He explains with a sagacious.
You can exchange knowledge points for medication and equipment as part of the volunteer research program. Are you ready for the next part? The clock is ticking.
The instructor taps his
Less
watch.
useful medication.
You'll need some one-use stimulator injectors, bandages to stop bleeding, and anti-radiation agents and radio protectors, including ARAD-3.
The white ticks these off on his fingers. He produces a black-capped, transparent plastic jar out of his pocket.
According to protocol, you should have this medicine. I'll give it to you as soon as we proceed to the practical part of the briefing. Are you ready, by the way, or do you have any questions?
How can you discharge anomaly with bolt?
Why do I have to spell out every single thing for you?
Take a bolt, throw it at the anomaly, and it goes off. Any more questions?
Say that you have no more questions.
The scientist glances at his watch again.
You're within the time limit for questions. The next step is training in the artificial eco-zone.
Okay.
He rests one finger on the button in preparation to start the timer.
You're going to go downstairs and scan relics. I will be monitoring your progress. Please note there are several radioactive anomalies in the eco-zone. These are the same conditions you'll be working in the field. Radioactive zones and relics are quite common under the dome.
He smoothly extracts a jar of yellow pills from his pocket.
Here's your ARAD 3. And one more thing. Just a moment.
Okay, this seems like these anomalies are over here.
Welcome under the dome. An amazing excursion to a
Please don't tell me that's your whole job.
ancient civilization. Listen to this information.
Please stand by for decontamination to end. Detailed plans are ready.
Okay, interesting. Scanning. You have the scanning ability. To perform scanning, select the ability in the panel, and then click on the object that you want to scan. For each successful scan, you receive knowledge points, and the data obtained in the process is stored in your Sirius. Okay. This is not a scan? Hey! I don't think I've done the correct thing. There's always evidence to be found at crime scene. There is a witness nearby.
Oh, what do you want?
Yeah, I kind of screwed up. If you want to fight, go to the ring. It is acceptable to harm people for no good reason here. Apologize for your wrongdoing and say that it won't happen again.
Get out.
Seriously, both throwing? Okay. Is that anomaly gonna reappear? We need a shovel?
Around the anomalies. Touch one of them and you'll be injured. Don't touch the relics with your hands, employee. Use your scanner. Radiation sickness will not add to your journal entry. A successful scanning attempt. You're doing all right so far. Go ahead. Keep an eye on you and make sure you don't screw it up.
I will need to buy a shovel. I'm not sure if I'll be able to come back. It's not letting me do anything here anymore. Okay, so this will have to, like, require me to learn all these things.
Van Olden gestures back at the eco-zone.
I haven't finished scanning yet. What the hell am I supposed to scan, though? Maybe some of these other artifacts? But if I go with like 3, then it immediately turns me into... I hear the Geiger counter.
2 objects scan. And again, watch out for anomalies. Touch one and you'll be injured. Toss a bolt at the anomaly to discharge it. Journal entry. All 3 objects have been successfully scanned. Come upstairs, employee.
Oh, so maybe that's
Sebastian
why.
meets you on the platform.
Your finishing time is within the acceptable range.
He clicks the stopwatch button, fixing the result time. The scientist turns back to his notes.
Not bad. One question. You observed several anomalies while scanning. Why do you think they appeared? I'd like to hear your opinion.
So, depending on the faction, we would have different answers. Silver Wing report that you don't give a fig about the reasons, while White Wing is putting high-value assets and manager in danger.
The scientist assumes a superior expression.
I knew you'd come up with something like that. I see you understand nothing about the nature of anomalies. So let me add a couple of points.
He glances at the shimmering blue light in the eco-zone.
The truth is, we don't know the precise reason for these phenomenon either. We actually know nothing, no matter how much we try to convince ourselves otherwise.
Sebastian points a thin finger at the clustered lightning.
I personally believe that the anomalies are the dome's security mechanism. The ones you saw are relatively harmless, but there are different anomalies in the desert, phenomenon that toy with the human mind.
Van Olden clasps his hands behind his back.
I know you don't care, but I'll say it anyway. Scientists today are required to be wonder workers who can heal cancer with a wave of their hand and solve the secrets of the universe during their coffee break. For some reason, no one wants to understand that fundamental science is always an investment in the future. It produces no answers here and now.
The White's gaze strays back to his clipboard.
If something terrible happens under the dome one day, and I'm sure it will, science will protect no one. That is all. Off you go.
Okay.
Please stand by for decontamination to end.
Radiation has been removed.
That in a year, you'll be lying by a swimming pool, sipping a margarita right on this
Armored door. TV sets. Drink machines. I kind of do wonder if I would be able to return back there and get my hand on the freaking shovel at the shop. I do have some money, so shovel was one of the things, and maybe a belt?
Maynard puts his glasses on again.
You again? Pretty sure you got your uniform already. Anything else I can do for you?
That's why the set doesn't include gloves and
The
helmets.
silver assumes a serious expression.
There's nothing I can do about that. It's a result of the recent cost optimization order.
Sidney scribbles something in his logbook.
Okay,
Please come back
so
anytime if you
shovel
need something.
requires 50. 48. Okay. And do we want the worker's belt? Soldier's belt. I don't know which one's better. Archimedes lab belt, worker's belt, ordinary backpack, Bash's backpack. This one is quite pricey. It would, yeah, we would not be even able to like afford it. Do I want to patent leather shoes? We have some medkit here. I'm gonna have to like reorganize my shit. Bolts. Our contraption. A rad, weapon power cells. Third letter from Cronus. I would need to give them money. So 48. Okay. I'm not sure about work gloves, research gloves, soldier gloves. Argentum, simple and elegant, they provide the wearer hand the basic protection in case you must personally visit any facility at the same time. They are comfortable enough to sign papers, made in Argentina. Isolator engineer gloves, necessary are hated by electricians under dome. These gloves are too tight, making for sweaty hands, and the pocket tool case constantly falls open. Made of dense rubber, they provide excellent protection against electric shock. I'm gonna probably go for this right now. And we are gonna see if I will be able to dig out that hidden secret over there. So let's try to make it over there one more time. Just for the hell of it, since we're screwing around.
An amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization.
So probably the issue is that both here 3 is energy shot and here is the scan option.
Please stand by for decontamination to end.
Okay, so let's go dig out that thing. See what the hell is in there. We do have the shovel now. Force, I'm not really sure we're gonna be using that. First aid, okay. Surprise me. Relic dust. Rapid forefather relic extraction inevitably comes at a cost. These tiny fragments and particles of forefather relics still retain their unusual properties. It was revealed that the dust somehow locally distorts space-time, a small area near itself. Transfer all. Okay, take all. And radiation is going up, so let's get the hell out of there. There's even some medkit in here. So can we stack up these things? Yes, we can. Which is great news. There's even some new medication, which I have not had before. So I'll take it all. Is there anything else which we can use, interact with? Relics, anomalies, boxes, Jupiter Mooncar boxes, armored door. It might be there to be able to get in here. I don't know. Can I sneak? In front of you is a high-tech device that provides medical care without participation of a doctor. An order sheet with pair of blue seals is placed on top of service cost table. Okay, cure all addictions, restores health, remove radiation from the body, cure radiation sickness. We're gonna get the decontamination as is. Nothing has been found. What about here? I'll take it. There's bandages and stuff. If you guys just leave your stuff like unattended, then I'll just freaking take it all. I might be able to sell the dust of these relics and get some money out of it. And since we have higher charisma, my hope is that we will have some better bartering prices.
An amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of
I'm not really sure though how much do I want to haul around from all these things, but okay. What the hell is in here? What the hell are you doing here?
A middle-aged black is sitting behind the counter with his hands in his lap. The buttons and zippers on his uniform are polished to a shine, and even his badge, Winston Botherby, Instructor, has been buffed so much it hurts to look at it. Botherby frowns as you approach.
Your first act is being late for the briefing. You going to be late for your funeral as well?
Say you wish to receive military training, snap to attention and report that you are here for your assignment and want to receive instructions.
The black looks you over.
Yes, I see the weapon received checkmark. Looks like you are fully prepared to disappoint me. You are prepared, right, employee?
Tell him you're against violence, say you have few things to do and will return. You're prepared.
Leans over the counter and directs you to the doors.
Behind this door is a combat simulation computer. Launch it and begin your course.
He raises his index finger.
The conditions in the training zone closely simulate those one would experience in the field. Your goal is to avoid getting lost and dying of dehydration. And try to aim the barrel away from yourself when shooting.
Pulling a notepad from his pocket, the instructor jots down your name.
Your goal is to hit 3 targets. I'm going to monitor you and advise as necessary. And try not to burst into tears. That's all. Go ahead.
So, shout, sir, yes, sir. You can trade. Public terminal. Okay. Terminals. Throughout the game, you will often have to interact with various computers. Terminals contain useful information, allow you to turn on disabled mechanisms and open locked doors. If you accidentally or intentionally killed one of your main characters, then information on how to progress further in the game can almost always be found in the terminal. Awesome. How the hell do I do whatever I'm supposed to do? Okay, enter Alpha to initiate Alpha Squad hologram. Picture slowly changes. Looking closely, you can see the lines being written one by one. Sherman system, Alpha Squad enters the battle. Okay, so turn-based combat. Encased has a turn-based combat system. The move sequence of your opponent's allies and yourself, determined by initiative action points, are spent on moving, using abilities and attacking. If after performing all your desired actions you still have some action points left, you can spend them on increasing your defense class by clicking on the cover button, or you can finish the current turn and save. Okay, so It has certain features of like XCOM and maybe even some other games. Okay. So I took some damage there, but I did go into cover, so I'm not sure how that's gonna affect me. In almost every battle, you're surrounded by interactive objects, traps, pools, or toxic goo, flames, or barrel, or fuel that can be blown up with a well-aimed shot. All this can give you an advantage or conversely complicate your life. Okay. Ladder, examine, thunder, electric mine. I'm not sure if I would be able to hit that thing. Probably not. Nice, we took care of that dude. And with we do... Okay, we're taking quite a lot of critical damage here, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm gonna try to reposition myself. Okay, so there's another type of a mine. And I'm taking way too much damage from this goon. If I go over here, will I be able to still shoot at him? Not enough action points. Ballistic calculations. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening right now. And how do I switch to the right armor thingy, whatever? I'm probably taking way too many shots here, and I would sustain quite a lot of damage. Not enough. Seriously, is there like a duck option or whatnot? Okay, so not really bad or not really good. I never excelled at XCOM. Dialogue with weapon drawn. Make sure you won't have weapon drawn when you start talking to someone. Nobody likes to have gun poked in their face. Unequipping the weapon isn't necessary. Just left button click the weapon icon on the panel. Unequip. No. Overview. Okay, I kind of screwed up there. I'm gonna have to learn lots of things apparently about the game and how it functions. Let's try to reorganize all this mess, huh? So that we have some sort of a system in this. Can I rotate potentially some of this stuff, or no, not really? Okay, I'm trying to put items that have similar size or shape to one another due to the space occupancy and all this jazz. But this is not the best practice. Okay. So how do I talk to him without the gun?
Botherby nods grandly.
You made it through training without making a total fool of yourself. Congratulations. I'll send a report up the chain about your completely unanticipated success. You're dismissed, employee.
Right on this spot.
Okay.
Like a sci-fi story. But we aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are ready.
Do you wonder how much more of this briefing stuff do I have to deal with? Registration. No, this isn't where we came from. This is definitely different location. Safes. There is something. A gate number 1. Yeah, I did not come in through here, right? Yeah, I believe we came in through here, went like so, did all this jazz, and now we're gunsmithing workbench. Gunsmithing workbench. Coffee machine. Use terminal. Lockers. Okay. Nelson Cunningham. An impassive man whose long gray hair in a bun smokes a cigarette, dropping ash on his boot from time to time. The headphones hanging on his neck produce some metal music. The dull badge on his chest reads Nelson. Hi, feeling good, hey? It's a professional interest. Ask him what he's doing here. What the boxes are for. Something, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. What thing to say? Bogwash? I don't know. Coffins, something. These are the best coffins I've ever seen here. A window to look at the dead. Want to open or close it? Okay, I'm quite sure he's not speaking fluently. Agree lying down in coffin. I'm not gonna do that. Ask permission to take a look at the cadavers. Lets you approach the containers. Open them. Okay, look at the first corpse. Okay, look second, look third. Step away from the coffins and leave. Weirdo. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what the hell am I supposed to still do in here. And it seems like we have leveled up, so I should be able to maybe invest into something. We do have level 2. Still gonna take us skill point 17 that can be allocated. Hand-to-hand, melee, contraptions, psionics, light weapons. We have 17 points. We don't have perks, and our stats are not changing yet. So I'm not sure if I want to go less likely to step into bear trap or lose your hand. A hidden laser gadget also allows better handling of explosives. Psionics. High-tech weapons are at 83. Light weapons, we can go to 55. Psionics, we can increase them to 40. Melee weapons, not really that crazy about it. Let's go to 85. Heavy weapons, 55, and we have one more skill point, so I don't know. We should be getting access to like all these things. Medicine, damn it, I should have gone into these a little bit more. We really don't need to invest here. Psionics is okay. We have 3 points to tech. Modern human being surrounded by base brains plus muscle science is high. I don't know, like all these other ones are falling behind. Influence reflects how well your tongue serves you in a manipulating situation to your advantage, be it in business negotiation or unwanted rendezvous in dark alley. Let's go with that, I guess. Okay. And is there like a list of okay, so toolkits, repair kits, repair 10, plastic, spare bolts, nails, glue. So it requires like all these things apparently. And then there's the weapon repair kit, which requires all these components or something. Data, newcomer to Concord, reputation, known member of Silver Wing, Dome, nothing. Data, pinned quest, newcomer to Concord. I think I've done everything, so maybe we need to go.
Yeah, you dumbass.
Don't call me dumbass. Before you see a large hairy orange with funny round little glasses. He's a pack of fish snacks in his hand, and he dips his finger in it, carefully fishing small piece out. Daryl Gilmore, loader, says the badge. Okay, he resettles his glasses on his nose and looks quickly around, and he puts an arm around your shoulder and pulls you to him. Long story short, kitten, I have one offer, a business offer. You smell what I'm cooking? Okay, here's one thing. Do you see the hole behind my back? I've just returned from there, from shipping. I've been moving some crates. They weren't sealed for transit yet, so I checked a few of them out. And looky, there are relics inside. I thought they would be rubbish at first, but no, these are solid relics. Category 2, hold on. There scoops a handful of orange dried, crumbled something out of his pack and puts it in mouth. He chews and swallows and then goes on. Anyway, I can't get to those crates. There are guards in there now, but you look like the sort who easily blends in. Would you sneak in like a ninja and grab something that's lying around? Don't forget about me, of course. The orange clumps his pack and rummages around for more snacks. Fresh out, sons of bitches. The main thing you should remember is to go quietly. Don't get caught on camera and don't let the guards see you. It's gonna be okay. Okay.
Come back again.
So stealth mode, H key, allows you to steal and move without being detected by other opponents. While in stealth mode, watch the detection indicator displayed above the character. Once the indicator is full, you will be detected.
Are you planning something sneaky? Hey, you better not try to swipe anything around here.
Okay, so there's no chance in hell I'll be able to get past this person. So where exactly am I supposed to go to, huh? Where are these freaking relics meant to be? Examine a turret. Oh my god, there's even a turret in the ground. Awesome. Guess they really don't want me to be fucking around then. Where exactly am I supposed to go for this BS? Data. No active side quests. Really confused right now. I do wonder if it's gonna be like in Skyrim that you level up your skills if you...
Why do you keep bothering me?
Okay, where are you going? Gate 1 is a restricted area. Come on, get out of here.
Back again.
So you cannot really get there, dumbass. So, good job. I'm trying to figure out where the hell to go now. We're supposed to... Maybe through here I'll be able to find something.
At it again, asshole.
Okay, you got me, boy.
Clearly you interrupted some kind of game. 3 orange freeze, their arms outstretched, staring at you perplexedly. Ask what they're playing. Why no, boss? No gambling here. We all know, don't we? The games are prohibited. That's the rule. What we've got is a wagering whether the Hulk can spit as far. Tell them you won't inform their superior if they explain what it is they are playing. The large orange with badge reading Butch spreads his broad hands in conciliation. Alright, we're kind of playing bolts. This game's legit. You see, cards are prohibited. If they find you with cards, you get locked up for a couple of weeks. But the game is totally safe. Combos 200 says. Compounds 200, okay. The orange rummages through his pocket, which rattles as he does. Okay, here goes. So you place your bet. After counting the money, Butch opens a scratched coffee can and gives you 3 oiled bolts, obviously stolen from the repairs facility. He takes 3 more bolts for himself. Patrick and Ivan also take 3 each. Cheating, 30. Answer not available. See, okay, draw lots. You get the short toothpick. Ivan chuckles and pats you on the shoulder, clearly pleased with his turn will be last. The next person after you is Patrick and third is Butch. You put the hand with the bolts in your pocket. According to the rules, you can leave any number of bolts in your pocket or keep them all in your hand. And the rules, before the start of the game, each participant receives 3 bolts. At the beginning of each round, they can hide any number of bolts in their fist or hide no bolts at all. The object of the game is to guess how many bolts in total all players have hidden. You can only guess a number no one else has guessed in that round. After everyone has had a turn to guess, the players open their hands and reveal how many bolts are actually in the game. The player who guessed the correct number wins the round and loses 1 bolt. The winner is the first player to win all 3 rounds. Okay. Put out all and hold 1 bolt in your hand. Hold 2 bolts in your... Say you change your mind, pick up your bet and exit the game. Walk away without your bet. Oh, let's hold 2 in my hand. You decide to hold 2 bolts. After waiting a bit, parents' sake, you ready to call. Patrick doesn't fool around. He confidently puts his clenched fist forward, making clear that he's ready. Butch thoroughly stirs his pocket with his hand for a while, glancing at one of the 2 oranges, gives them a calm and confident nod. Ivan fusses and wrinkles his forehead. The choice is clearly not easy for him. He looks at Patrick, then at Butch, then at you. Finally, the orange pulls his fist out his pocket and presents it. It's evident that he's weaving. The player, including you, freeze around the crate, clenched fist, and outsider might think it's meeting of some militaristic club. Whatever this is, looks around at everyone present. I'll remind you the rules. Okay, my move. Having finished with his instruction, Butch pauses, trading focus looks. All the players take a step back. The room is so quiet you can hear the sound of running water from an open tap in the toilet. Your move. Butch grins a little, playing with the keyring while Patrick watches you closely, and Ivan absent-mindedly picks at the scratched floor plates with the toe of his worn boot. Everyone's waiting for your call. Say there's 1 bolt in the game, 2 bolts, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Change your mind and you want to leave. I don't know. I'll go with 6. This game is more difficult than poker. It's hard to read the face of participant, but it's worth a try. My turn. There are 6 bolts in the game. You say taking a step forward. Patrick squints. Ivan seems to have missed your word completely. Having finished your turn, blah blah blah. My move. 2 bolts. My move. 12. Butch replies proudly. 5. Alright, enough. On this, open up. Butch flips his hairy fist and unclenches his fingers. In the player's palm, you see 3 bolts. Okay, I had 2 bolts. Butch pants Ivan on the back, and he, waking up slowly, unclenches his fist. Single bolt. Patrick, watching the rest of the players and suspiciously, also decides to reveal his hand, folds his fingers, and raises his hand above empty. Show your hand. You open your fist, showing there are 2 bolts. Okay, total is 6. How many did I guess? This round, your answer was correct. You put 1 of the bolts in. Okay. Butch announces the next round. I'm gonna exit. The orange covers a stack of compounds with his hairy hand. Hey, slow down, honey. There wasn't the deal. You don't want to play. That's your business, but no refunds. Risk your reputation and tell the crooks you'll have to report their behavior. Threaten Butch that you'll hammer those bolts down his throat. Explain to Orange that this smells like cheating to you. Apply an arm lock and take your money back. Let's go. Cool at the hot shot. No need for being fussed. Here are your pennies. Okay. Really stupid game, but I get it. If you cannot use anything, or if these sort of games are prohibited.
Welcome under the dome.
No, where the fuck am I supposed to go though? Somewhere in here?
Information useful for all wings.
Let's try it. I'm quite sure having some sort of sneaky character might be also quite a lot of fun. cannot seem to be able to go
Employee,
downstairs.
please come here. There's an urgent task for you.
Okay.
I'm listening.
The badge on his broad chest says Adolf, head of security. Schmidt is studying your back, disapproving it seems. Wipes a bit of lint off your shoulder and just the collar of your jumpsuit. Your uniform could use a wash badly. I'm Adolf Schmidt, head of the security service. You were to be sent to Magellan, but there was a change of circumstances. I've got an urgent order for you. Your help is needed at a nearby object. Mr. Kingsley is waiting right now to give you assignment. He'll tell you everything himself. Agree and proceed. Silverwing asks why he needs you, but not the other silvers that arrived with you. Schmidt looks at you amused. Another silver, you say? That's strange. There weren't any other silvers weighing personal on the new arriving manifest. Must be documentation problem. Say that you have some business to attend to, okay? Agree to him. Schmidt steps aside. Comment, please. Video phone on the wall over there. We can trade over here. Am I supposed to go in here? Video phone terminal.
The display glows welcomingly when you approach. A red light comes on under the screen's steel hood. The camera is switched on. A gray old man with high cheekbones appears and squints out at you from the screen.
Do you copy?
He leans close to the camera, his glasses glittering.
My name is Martin Kingsley. I'm Chief Officer of Magellan Base. We were supposed to meet in person, but unforeseen circumstances prevented that. One moment. I'll grab your file.
He reaches for something out of view and produces a thin folder with your name on the cover. Apparently, your file. Kingsley opens the folder to thumb through the pages. He marks one of the pages with a pencil.
Silverwing. Colleague, I'll be honest with you. It's crucial for me to know my managers. So I'm asking you straight. Why did you choose a career in our division?
Confess that you enjoy having power over other people. Answer that you're interested in auspicious projects and challenging tasks. Explain that it's all a matter of ambition, of your wish to make a lot of money and live prosperous life. Let's go with the second option.
The administrator jots down a word or two.
All right. I put that down.
He sounds as formal as you. Kingsley closes the file and folds his hands in front of him.
Thank you for your reply. I learned a little more about you. Now I want you to learn a little bit more about us. Keep in mind, this is not a rehearsed speech.
He assumes a serious expression.
When the dome was discovered in 1971, it became a scientific and media sensation, a worldwide phenomenon, and likely the most significant discovery in the history of mankind.
Kingsley drums his fingers on the unseen desk, his gaze focused somewhere beyond.
I see. You were enticed here by radio advertising, telefilms, and all those interviews, billboards at every turn. Cronus wants the world to see the dome as a stage where something merry and fascinating is going on. But now that you're actually here, I want you to see the real picture.
You can't make out his eyes behind the glare on his spectacles, but he seems to be staring directly at you.
Here's the truth. Nobody was waiting for us inside the dome. It's neither a treasury of technologies nor a cemetery of the ancients. Perhaps what we're doing now is defusing the world's most complicated bomb. Will our mission thrive? I believe so. If we work together and everybody does their part.
He looks back at your file.
I say, do what must be done. Because that's what the concept of the 5 wings is all about.
Kingsley points at the camera.
You're from Silverwing. Special requirements are imposed upon you. You must direct others whilst having no real power. You must provide an illusion of might and well-being, and be honest and wise enough to reconcile your actions with your conscience. No matter that one clashes directly with the other.
Putting the folder aside, he sits back and stares at you in silence. It gets so quiet that the ticking of a clock can be heard through the speakers. Kingsley sighs quietly.
You were probably waiting for some boilerplate welcome speech. But I prefer to talk about real-world problems. Glad to meet you.
Martin nods slowly.
I apologize once again for this long-distance meeting. Now, as we don't have much time, I'd like to get to the point. I'm sure you're curious why you were taking off the bus to Magellan and brought here instead.
He moves closer to the camera.
I'm going to show you a short video. Please pay attention.
Kingsley's face freezes on screen.
I have an urgent mission for an employee of your background and qualifications. I'd have assigned someone from Magellan, but I'm short on personnel. That's why it has to be a newcomer. I apologize again for the rush, but it seems I have no choice.
Martin noisily clears his throat.
Maybe you've heard about Nashville Base. While preparing the materials for this mission, I came across a short documentary film about the complex. I think you should watch it.
The speakers produce a hollow click. Purple, gray, and black spots flicker on the screen. A blurred title, The Cronus Archive 1971 to 1974, was used in the production of this recording, appears at the bottom. The shadow of an airplane flies across a faded yellow desert. A cheery voice fills the room. Every day, our researchers uncover more and more of the dome's secrets. There is no doubt the underground structures, so-called objects, are organized according to some pattern. Though early on, the importance of the relics to scientific research was considered insignificant. The desert dims into the black of a chalkboard. White lines drawn by an invisible hand begin to sketch a schematic of the dome. The narrator continues. By 1972, however, many important discoveries had come to light in a period of only a few months, and the construction of stationary research bases adjacent to the more promising objects began. Personnel moved into Ankara in May of 1972, and within half a year, Boston and Dessau were also brought into service, though the biggest discovery was yet to come. The picture changes to a chasm suffused with electric light, people bustling about everywhere. The speaker's voice seems to come from a distance. In November of 1973, a massive network of underground caves and a structure of hitherto unseen complexity was discovered in Sector C-12. Soon afterwards, the construction of C-12 Nashville began. The camera glides through dim caverns as the silhouettes of bizarre mechanisms emerge. Metal structures loom up from the dark, surrounded by earth-moving machines and exhausted miners wearing orange jumpsuits. The speaker continues. C-12 Nashville is an innovative research complex located atop the primary relic mining location. The complexity of this object is unique. Communications. The film abruptly cuts out, and Kingsley's face reappears.
The rest of this information is classified. Hopefully you get the main idea. Nashville is a very special place, requiring people with both special qualifications and special clearance level, though yours will do for your task.
Okay, what is my task?
Adjusts his glasses.
So, the task. Nashville Base stopped transmitting and receiving signals yesterday evening. A reconnaissance group was sent out earlier today, but we haven't heard anything from them yet either.
The chief officer rubs his forehead.
Normally, I would never give this task to a newcomer like yourself, but I just don't have enough people.
He looks down at the documents again.
Furthermore, the group was lacking someone with your specialization. I thought the mission would be quite straightforward and didn't send any administrative personnel. Now I suspect the Nashville situation may be much more complicated.
Kingsley is looking into the camera once more.
Your task is to get to Nashville, figure out whatever's behind the communication problem, get in touch with the group, and work with them to solve the problem.
The chief officer carefully returns the documents to the folder. You notice his hands tremble slightly.
Go downstairs. The truck must be waiting for you in storage. This task is urgent, but a small delay is acceptable if there's anything you need to settle here first. That is all. Any questions?
We're ready to get started.
Kingsley's hand reaches toward the camera.
Great to hear. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you later.
Traveling, prepare yourself to leave the base defensive perimeter and venture out into the outside world of the dome, where you must rely solely on yourself and your companions. Check your gear one last time and go to orange truck waiting for you in the garage, on which you will continue your journey to Nashville facility. Later in the game, you'll be able to acquire your own vehicles, which will act as your mobile base of operations and give you uncomprehended freedom of movement. And we're going to leave the Nashville base for the next episode. So this was kind of a really long-ass introductory to the game. But I'm so far liking it. I will not be able to refund it anymore because I have been having it open for quite some time. Because I was also interrupted and so on and such. So haha. But yeah, I'm really liking this. I really wish they would remaster Fallout 1 or 2 because I have seen some concept works where like people are trying to make it look like Fallout 3, but Bethesda is just refusing absolutely. So maybe we will be able to have some fun with this in the meantime. And if you want to see more fun content here on the channel, then make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, as my upload schedule might be a little hectic as of late, but I will try to keep the content coming. And I'm gonna wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and hopefully I will see you under the dome on the next episode or in the comment section. Thank you all, and bye bye for now.